One of the hardest parts about getting started with Cricut is learning Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to give you a basic overall understanding of Cricut Design Space so you can go ahead and make your first project. There will be timestamps down below so you can skip to any part of the video that you're more interested in. And I'm going to take you from the beginning, how to upload, how to create, how to do all these things in Design Space so you can make your first project. Let's get into it. Okay, so when you first open up Cricut Design Space, this is what it's going to look like. We're going to go through 4 simple things: how to upload a project, how to make a project, how to make a design in Design Space, and just a few little odds and ends, tips and tricks that you'll need to learn at the end. So first things first, you want to hit make a new project. This is going to be your home screen for Design Space. These numbers at the top are inches so that you can size your project for what you want it to be. First thing we're going to show is an upload of a project. So if you want to upload an image that is not on Cricut Design Space and that you want to make, there's a very simple process. You're going to hit upload image and you're going to take an image from your desktop. I got this image over on Canva, and you can use Canva for free and they have tons of options that you can choose from. For this, I'm going to select complex. This is so that you can remove the background from your image so that the Cricut knows what to cut. From here, you're going to select continue, and this is what you're going to get. First, you're going to just take off the largest part of your image, and then all the little white pieces on the inside, you are going to get rid of those because those need to be empty spaces so that the Cricut knows what to cut. Now, if you erase something that you don't want to, you can always hit restore. You can erase manually, like if you want to get in a little bit closer to something like that, you can definitely do that and hit the back button. And then the preview button is going to show you exactly what it's going to look like when Cricut cuts it out. Now you can see here I missed the 2 dots in the people, so this is perfect. You want to make sure that you check that when you are making your image so that you don't miss any parts. Now if you look, everything's all set, and we're just going to hit apply and continue. Now here you have 2 options. First of all, you can add it to a collection. You can put well, I don't have that, but have the max. You could put like a different type of collection here, and then you can either have your image cut or do a print and cut. A cut is like if you're cutting with vinyl and you're going to make that your actual image. A print and cut is if we're going to print it out with the Cricut material and then print it out on your printer with the Cricut material and then cut out that image with the Cricut. So for this, we're just going to make it simple and do a cut image and then have it uploaded. Once it's here, it's always available for you to add to your Design Space. We're going to click that image and add it to Canvas. All right, now we've added this to Canvas. These are 2 things that you need to make sure of. Here we have, again, I mentioned the inches, and also the sizing will be on here. So if you don't want to guesstimate the size by taking this little box and moving it with your mouse, say you want for sure you want a 6x5, you can type that in here on the size, which is W, which is width, and H is height, and these again go by inches. And this will resize your image for you to the exact size that you want. There's tons of different things that you can do within Design Space, but this is just showing you the bare basics so you can go ahead and make your first project. Next thing you're going to do is select Make It. From here, you select what type of material and matte if you're using. So if you're using smart materials, you will select without matte, with a matte, on matte, with materials, and then so forth and so on. For the easiest thing, we're just going to go ahead and do smart materials. From here, there's 2 things that you need to know. So if you are cutting out vinyl to say put on a cup or something like that, you can leave it this way. If you are using iron-on of any type, you need to mirror your object so that when it cuts out, it's going to cut out in the reverse, so that when you iron it on to your material, it will be the correct way. So you want to make sure that you go ahead and do that. Once you make sure that your image is mirrored, from here you will select what type of material that you're using. For instance, if you're using smart iron-on, you would just go ahead and click that material. If you want to go ahead and go back, you can. And then from there, you just load the material into the machine and press go, and then you're all set cutting out your first project. Very simple, very easy, and this is for an uploaded project. Okay, Now we are back in Design Space, and let me show you some of the most basic features. So one of the things that's used a lot is text. So say for instance you are wanting to make like a customized name cup. I'm going to go ahead and put this in my name as Akira. So I'm going to show you some of the basic features of Design Space. First thing is font. You can choose any of the fonts that they have available. You can also upload your own, and there's tons of tutorials on how to do that. For this, I'm just going to go ahead and click this Joyful Honey font. Once you click back onto Design Space, your font will be changed. Now there's tons of different things that you can do here. You want to you can do it in regular, or this font has a writing feature, so then it makes the outside like an outline, but that just depends on the font that you're using and what features it has. Obviously here you can change the size. If you don't want to do it manually, you can also do it this way as well, and it'll tell you what size the font is. Letter spacing, this is to see how far and how close you want the letters to be. Very self-explanatory. You can see the image on screen how that changes. Line spacing is, say if you had two letters. Let's go back and just do this again, and I'm gonna type my last name here. Well, that's not working, but we're gonna do this over. Oop, and if I could spell my own name right, that would be helpful. So this is line spacing. So now we're gonna go ahead and change the line spacing on this one. And as you can see, that brings the letters together closer that way. See, up and down. And then you can also just like type, say you want like -5. It'll change it for you and make it closer or farther together. So that is that simple setting, and I just deleted that. Now we're gonna go back to just my name here. You can also curve your letters, so you can go curve them down, you can curve them up. Say for instance you have like another image here. I'll just quickly show you how you can add like a shape. For instance, like we did Akira with a star underneath it. And you could curve the letters around the star to make it look like a design. So those are some of the options that you have within Design Space to make your own creations. And then the last one, and my favorite, is the offset. So the offset is going to allow you to add a offset to the letters, and as you can see what it adds to it. So now I could cut this out with, say, white vinyl, and then I could also add like a black background. So it looks really cool, and you can see how that basic Akira turned into this cool image with just using shapes and fonts. So that is how you can create your own custom shapes and fonts in Cricut Design Space. Now the last thing I'm going to show you in this kind of realm is how you can go ahead and add images from Cricut. So Cricut has tons of images that you can choose from. It really just depends on what you're looking for. I'm not going to search for anything in particular. I'm just going to go to food and drink because that's what caught my eye, and show you how you can add something to your Design Space. So let's go ahead. I want to get something a little bit more advanced here. Let's see. We'll add this candy cane because I don't want to keep looking all over. Okay, so we're going to add this candy cane. First things first is you can see what the image is like and all that kind of stuff, but we're going to go ahead, and you can also see, like, now you can see similar images to this one, which Cricut has needed that feature for forever. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to add this to our canvas. So you're going to go ahead and, nope, not add to collection. And see, somebody who done this a long time, you still get a little hiccup. So we're going to hit add this to canvas. And then from there, now you have the feature that you found in the Cricut images. So instead of having the star, we have a little candy cane option. We could put it over here to the side and make a cute little whatever. So this is kind of how you can compile different things from Cricut to make them make your own image. Now the last thing that I'm going to show you, because I did say the last thing was the last thing, but one more thing here is we're going to select everything. Now you see how these layers pop up. So it's going to tell you exactly what everything is going to do. So this candy cane is a basic cut. That means that it's going to cut this image out. Now what I did to the letters, the Cricut is telling itself that it's going to draw these letters out with the Cricut pen. So that is how you can know what functionality the Cricut is going to do. Now you can attach these images together and then look what it does. Once it attaches it, it makes them all one piece. So they're no longer two separate items, they're one piece. And then you can go ahead and hit back, and again, hit back one more time, and now you unselect them. Oh, detach, sorry. I was hitting the back button, but you're supposed to hit detach, and now they're two separate items again. So this is just a simple tutorial on how you can make your own designs in Cricut and how you can upload your own designs in Cricut. Now let's get into one last thing that I think you need to know as being a beginner. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna go over, just like the basics that you need to learn, are these side options. So they have a lot of things that you can use over here that I think will be helpful for you making projects. We went over images and text and shapes, and we also did projects. No, actually we didn't do images. Oh no, we did do images. So we're gonna go back to the design space. We're gonna do monograms. So if you ever want to make like monogram items such as cups, t-shirts, whatever, this is a super simple tool that you can use. It already has my initials in here because I've used it before, but you would just type in your initials, say I wanted to add another one, and it just allows you to make like your own monogram super easily. And this is something that a lot of people use. That's why Cricut added this feature. You can select any of the items that you like, that you think looks cool, and then you just select add to canvas, and you already have a pre-made monogram that you can go ahead and then use on some of your projects. Also, again, upload, that is to upload any of your images that you make off of Cricut. Phrases, this is a good one too. Tons of Cricketers use a lot of different phrases on their items, their t-shirts, their whatever they're creating. So this is just a place just for phrases, which I think is pretty cool. I like this like magic one. Go ahead and just select it, and then you add it to canvas, and you have your phrase added to your canvas, and then you can go ahead and just use that, and then you can see the operation here is just a basic cut. You can also change it as well. This is another one I want to talk to you about. So this is a basic cut, meaning like you would make this out of vinyl or something. If you wanted to print this out, you would change it to a print then cut. You see that change over here as well. If you wanted to draw this with a pen or with foil, those are the options of how you can change how your image is cut on the Cricut. So very simple, basic overview. We talked about text, very easy. You just add your text here, and boom, you have text on the screen. We talked about images, but we'll go over it one more time. It's where you can find images to add to your Cricut projects. If you want to make something, if you want to piece things together, say you were doing a bug birthday party favors, and you wanted to add a few different bugs on there, you could do that. Very simple. Shapes, again, these are just basic shapes that you have access to if you want to use them to add to make your projects look better. Projects is when these are already pre-made projects that people have configured, and you can just go ahead and use them. So for instance, like this Merry Christmas stocking, you would select the item, obviously, then you would hit make it. And what this is going to do, you have to do nothing here. It's going to take you all the way to the screen where you're able to just go ahead and cut this out. So you don't change anything. Now, for instance, you say, you know what, you like this, but you do want to maybe change the size, or, whatever edits you want to make, you would select edit a copy. And then this will bring you back to the design space, and then you can go ahead and make any changes to it that you were wanting to, like if you want to change the font or whatever the case is, you'd be able to do that from that project. And then templates is the last thing that you can use. Templates just kind of help you know where to put things. So for like instance, you wanted to use drinking glasses. This is a template for the drinking glass. So then say you want to add text to it. It just gives you a nice outline to see how your image would fit on a drinking glass. So say like this is a glass here, you would then resize your image, your name, or whatever you're using to make it fit for this area. And then it gives you an idea of how that is going to look and how it's going to be spaced out, so you can kind of know for your projects. So that is the overview of Design Space, and I think the very basic bare minimums of what you need to know in order for you to make your first project. Okay guys, so we have done it. We have gone through the basics of Cricut Design Space. I think that it is very easy to get up and start making your first project. Now there are so many other creators out there who have like advanced tutorials, and there's so much that you can do with Cricut. But just to start out with the basics that you can learn over time, I think is best for a new Cricut user. I started using Cricut over 3 years ago, and I've obviously, know more ins and outs, but I think this basic tutorial will really help someone just opening their Cricut, just getting started, and you can make your first project in under 30 minutes with watching this video, and then go ahead and make your project. So I hope this helped. Let me know down below if you like more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.